Yeah, fine. Okay. Our next speaker is Mr. Mukul K. Agarwal. Yeah, he's the Chief Sustainability Officer, Birla Cellulose, Aditya Birla Center. Mr. Mukul is having 27 years plus experience in a senior leadership role in a range of manufacturing industry. Mr. Mukul's current role focuses on building a sustainable business and managing risks and opportunities created by sustainability. Today, Mr. Mukul will be presenting on collaborative efforts in the fashion value chain to upscale cotton waste into fresh Liva Reviva viscose fibers. Over to you, Mr. Mukul.
Thanks, Chelsea, and good morning to everyone. I hope that you are able to hear me and see my screen. Just a little bit of introduction before we get into the presentation. Birla Cellulose is a global leading producer for man-made cellulosic fibers. Man-made cellulosic fibers are conventionally they are produced from wood-based pulp. So this particular initiative is to recycle the cotton waste, especially the cotton waste that is difficult to recycle, and small pieces, cut pieces where these pieces where there's no other value. And generally these pieces get recycled to, let's say, mops and things like that, or filling into the cushion. So this is the present area of innovation. And couple of challenges that we'll see during my presentation is on how we are able to basically establish a reverse logistics, because that is the big challenge here to get the whole value chain involved in this initiative, because this type of innovation requires a collaboration from everyone. So let me just quickly start with the problem statement here. If you see that 100 million tons of textiles are wasted every year, most of it is going to the landfill. If you look at the current status, hardly 1% is getting recycled. Of the total waste which is generated from the fabrics, 15 to 20% is generated at the time of fabrication itself. So that means that it's pre-consumer waste. It doesn't even reach to the consumer. And remaining is basically post-consumer waste. Dimension is like 1 truckload of clothing is landfilled or incinerated every second. So this is the dimension that we are looking at globally. If you also look at the transparency and traceability, because the key issues in the textile sector has been human rights, labor practices, child labor, use of hazardous chemicals, toxic chemicals. So it's very important to also understand that from where you are getting the waste, how you are segregating, how you are ensuring that the people who you're buying from are following those best practices of human rights, and to avoid tragedies as we hear in the news, Rana Plaza, Uyghur, or Southeast Asian garment factories with child labor and everything else. So it's quite a complex challenge where you want to use the waste, and also you want to avoid any of the negativities that may happen because of your efforts. So if you look at the value chain of rayon or viscose fiber, which is known as rayon also, we start with the pulp, which comes from sustainably managed forests. And then this is converted into yarn, and then fiber and yarn and fabric. And then it is converted into garments, and people use it. And then after the use, most of it is discarded. And cotton value chain is also very similar. So the waste, as we said, is the pre-consumer waste is getting generated at the fabrication stage. And then we have post-consumer waste, which is getting generated at the after the use stage. So the challenge here is to develop a fiber, because if you want to recreate the fiber as good as it was before, then the technical challenge is that from the waste, you want to make a fiber which is in quality as good as the original fiber, so that it can be used in all that same application, which was from the, let's say, wood-based pulp. Also, the challenge is to reverse the logistics, to establish the reverse logistics, because collection of the good quality waste is also a big challenge here. Then you have to establish the traceability and scaling up the whole thing, because in a normal commercial process, you can scale up by increasing your production capacity. But in the case of waste collection, scaling up at a global scale is a big challenge because you're talking about tons and tons of waste of good quality getting collected and recycled. So, in case of our product Liva Reviva, which we launched last year, we had gone through a complete work of almost 1.5 to 2 years, where first is that R&D breakthrough for creating the fiber using a pre-consumer waste. So that was the beginning of the innovation when we developed the technology where we could recycle that waste into a equally good quality fiber. This was showcased in our Premier Vision, which is the Paris, the biggest fashion gathering in the Paris in 2020. And then we took the feedback from our customers, our fashion designers, the brands, and then we rolled out the product in April 2020, named as Liva Reviva. Then it also required setting up a supply chain for testing, sampling of the product, developing the collections based on these products, and also developing a reverse logistics. And at the same time, we also had to work on traceability, because traceability also is a very important factor. As I said, that we want to only source from sustainable sources where people who are following the ethical practices and not using the toxic chemicals and things like that. Then also to launch such products in the market and establish, because one of the problem is that the technology and the scale right now makes this product more expensive. So to make this product financially viable, we have to collaborate with the big brands to develop a product based on this and launch in their own markets. And then again, next steps to increase the recycled content and post-consumer waste recycling, and also to reduce the input cost is very critical for scaling up this. So right now, this product is at 20% industrial waste content, 80% is 80% wood-based pulp fiber. And I'll just like to show a small a video of this.
You know that the planet needs a lot of love and care today, and the fashion industry can play a big role in it, because the textile waste generated has grown by 95% over the last decade. As a brand at the forefront of sustainable fashion, we understand the difference we can make today for a better tomorrow. We have come up with yet another eco-friendly innovation, Liva Reviva. Liva Reviva is recycled viscose fiber made by using pre-consumer textile waste and wood pulp from sustainable forests. It is made with processes that are sensitive to the environment. And to ensure that you know that we are doing what we are promising, we use the latest blockchain technology to help you track the complete process of sustainability. Just scan the unique QR code on the tag of any Liva Reviva garment and trace the journey of the product from plantation to garment with data at each stage of the value chain, so that you can verify our claim at any stage, at any given point of time, and be assured that your favorite garment is also nature's favorite. It is the only traceability system that maps the plantation to garment journey and the reverse journey of the value chain to help buying houses and brands make an informed choice. Liva Reviva, consciously fashionable.
So getting back to the presentation now. If you see the Liva Reviva in a year, it has grown a lot. Within, I would say that we have just completed 1 year of this product, and it has been now in use by leading producers like H&M, Walmart, Levi's, PVH. They're all preparing products based on this fiber and launching in their own collections. We have also onboarded these brands for our traceability solution, which is called Green Track, blockchain-based traceability solution. So they are using that together with our products to trace the supply chain also of the entire value chain of textile, which is quite complex, as you know. Also, we are collaborating with the value chain partners, like we have having a collaboration of collecting this waste from leading waste producers. Waste producers by means that people who are in the value chain and they generate some waste which cannot be used properly. So we buy that waste from these waste producers and then recycle it. And also we are joining hand with other leading brands like Kering and PVH and Lourdes Foundation, Target and others under the Fashion for Good project of full circle recycled textiles. Already we have 1.3 million garments made from this type of product. Right now we have been able to reduce the cost. When we started, the cost of Liva Reviva came at very high, maybe 50 to 60% premium over the standard viscose, but now we have been able to optimize the supply chain cost and reduce it. And we want to rapidly scale up in the next 3 years. A lot of brands are showing interest in such products, and our target is to increase the recycled content from 20% to 50% in next 2 to 3 years time. So if you look at the environmental impact of such circular products, then it's quite a nice story here, because the water consumption is less by 67%, resources consumption is less by 10%, and the pollution or environmental impact is less by 60%, and global warming is less by 26%. So this type of circular product definitely helps us to improve the sustainability, overall sustainability of the product, and reduce the pressure on the natural resources. In addition to that, the viscose or rayon consumes 99% less water compared to cotton. So in a water-stressed country like India, this could be a good option where the cotton production itself is impacted by water availability. So the thing that is getting this innovation is meaning that we have more jobs created at a lower level or a weaker section of society, where the waste economy is involved, like how to handle the waste, how to increase the value of the waste, upcycle the waste. So the value of the waste is increased. People who handle those waste or recycle those waste, they get better revenues of their product. Also, the whole complex supply chain of this whole system is now being traced, so we know the visibility or a path to the way the waste travels up to the final garment. And also, instead of downcycling into small cutting waste, what we call as cutting waste, is getting downcycled to upcycle it and make a fresh fiber out of it. Now, this Fashion for Good project, which is the first big project at a consortia level, is trying to address the challenges of recycling the waste. And one of the big challenges how to, because if you look at the garments, it's a blend of polyester, lycra, spandex, cotton, viscose, everything. So it's very few garments which are pure. And even if they are pure, the stitching could be of another polymer, or it would have a 2% lycra or 3% lycra. So there's a problem in separation of these polymers, and that is a great challenge. And we are also collaborating with a lot of innovators who are developing these technologies. So we are right now using our own technology in case of Liva Reviva, but we are also sponsoring some of the innovators, the 5 innovators, in fact, to develop these technologies at a global scale, and they are based all over the world, like some from Europe, US, and China, and India also. Now, circularity needs a collaboration, and it's a teamwork, because when we talk about a linear product, it's a linear value chain. But when we talk about circular product, that means everybody has to combine their efforts, and the solutions has to be co-created. So it involves cooperation at every stage. we have to train and build capability, because waste segregation is very, very important, and to reduce the cost of waste segregation, it has to be segregated at the source where it is generated. So that is what our approach is, that we go to the source and there itself we segregate. That also ensures that we know that from where the waste is getting generated, and we can buy only from the sustainable places. It also involves capacity building of the whole value chain. It also creates new jobs and more value out of the waste, because after the segregation of the waste, definitely the value of the waste increases. The mixed waste is of very little use, but if you are able to segregate it, there are definitely people ready to pay more for that. As we have seen that this type of product also reduces the environmental impact. So we are right now in the scaling. As we go on, in the 1 year, we have scaled up this product already by 500%, and we are very aggressively scaling up this product in the next 3 years. So that is why we need partnerships and contributions from everyone in this journey. And this also aligns well with our overall sustainability strategy, which is focused on the 5 pillars. First is the responsible sourcing, buy our raw materials in a responsible manner, sustainable manner. Responsible manufacturing, we use the closed loop technologies. Even though our plants are located in India, China, Thailand, Indonesia, and Asian countries mostly, we apply the European norms at all our plants for emissions. We also want to grow our sustainable products like Liva Reviva and other products, Liva Eco, and we have a complete range of eco-focused products. And we also want to work on the partnerships. So we are looking for all those partners who can join this journey of sustainability and contribute towards establishing these circular products. And also, as you know, that Aditya Birla is focused on the social part of it. So our CSR programs touch 9 million lives already. And we have programs in livelihood, sustainable livelihood, and healthcare, education, infrastructure development. And we also want to collaborate very closely with the communities where we live. So all these circular products have a social part also, which is we think is a very, very important part of the overall business model. In the going forward, our plan is that we start using post-consumer waste. Also, like last batch of Liva Reviva, we use 5% post-consumer in addition to 15% pre-consumer. So we are mixing post and pre-consumer now. And also, we want to develop more innovators who can work on the separation technology of synthetic fibers. We also have joint programs with H&M, Esprit, Pimki, Tommy Hilfiger, Kering, and all that, Peter England in India, to develop the range based on these products. And also, we want to have blends of cotton and Liva Reviva to develop fashion collections again, and some R&D-led projects where we will increase the recycled content to 50%. And also, we want to scale up the reverse logistics to support the growth of these products. So this is what quickly I just wanted to share today, and then we can have some discussions and questions as we
I request all the delegates to raise your questions in the question section so we don't miss anything.
So let me start with Gaurav's question. On performance and pricing and other parameters, how do you compare Birla Lyocell versus Tenzing Glen? So on the pricing and performance, I think they're at same level, almost same level, and the key parameters like tenacity and all those parameters are at the same range. So there's no difference. Lyocell is a separate product. So this Liva Reviva is on the viscose side, and Lyocell is another side, and we have developed products on the recycled Lyocell as well. Yeah, Harshita, like your question is that do we have chains in Gujarat or Western states? So yes, we have some collection systems which are there in Maharashtra and Gujarat also. We have two plants in Gujarat, which are quite large scale plants. So definitely we can look at this. Surat, we can look at Surat. One question is that you have any project in Surat? Because we have two plants very close to Surat. So if you have any suggestions, do let us know. We'll be very happy to get into more details. Question from Nitin. We are based in New Delhi. We would like to partner on sustainability projects. So definitely, please get in touch with me. We are working on very different types of projects, including water, chemicals, recycling, circularity, greenhouse gas emission, plastics waste management, and things like that. So there's this wide range of projects going on. So if you're interested in collaborating, please get in touch with us. Mr. Rajesh, is there any contamination issue? If not, then how? So this is, I think, very important question because contamination is the key thing in recycling business. And if there's a contamination, definitely it will impact your process either at the manufacturing stage or quality of the final product. So that is why the training, capacity building of the whole supply chain segregation of waste at the source is very important. That we have to avoid contamination at all the stages. And second thing is the development of those technologies which are capable of separating, let's say, lycra and spandex, or nylon and polyester and cellulosic fibers or cotton. So all those things are very important for developing these circular products. So once we are able to address those issues, and I would say that there's one more global company which is offering similar products. So once you have these products getting scaled up, then these technologies will also develop, and then we will be able to resolve these contamination issues with more confidence. Right now, we are mostly dependent on the training and capacity building, segregation, and some level of separation in the technological processes. Because the separation technology should be such that we should be able to use the separated products. So if you have a blend of polyester and cotton, and if you separate it, the idea is that both the polymers should be usable after your separation. So most of the technologies which are available today, one of the component becomes unusable, which is not very sustainable. Question from Mr. Rakesh. Yeah, so as I said that most important, there are three very important part of a recycled product. First part is that the versatility of application. So if you are able to develop a recycled product and it goes for, it gives you a very rough fiber with a coarse appearance, it will not be versatile and you can't use for any application. So idea is that if you are able to make a fiber which is as good as the standard fiber, then only brands will be willing to use it, because they ultimately, fashion is a fashion product. Everybody wants to look good when we wear a dress or a shirt or a garment. We want the idea is that it should look good, and nobody will buy something which is defective or doesn't have a good appearance. So the quality of our products are as good as the standard product. Nobody can differentiate between standard and the recycled material. So that is one of the key factors in design of the whole innovation. And they can be used for any application, any type of spinning, weaving, knitting, all those processes. So it's as good as standard viscose. A question from Minakshi: are these products easily accepted by consumers, especially in India? So as I said that we just launched this product last year in April, and we have seen that this product has grown 500% in a year. Like, demand is increasing exponentially. And we have a range available in Peter, England in India. So if you go to some of the stores, and it is newly launched, I would say that it is very freshly launched, and you may find this type of products available. Mostly the demand is in Europe and US, and Indian consumer is very conscious now of environment. but I would say that it is still in the very early stage in India as compared to the Western country, where the consumer first looks at the sustainability, and then it's basically for him it's a important him or her, it's a very important aspect of buying a garment. Whereas in Asian countries, this is not so much as a conscious consumer, what we say. But I would say that the demand is growing for such products in India as well. Mr. Sanjay from Model Art, any suggestion for informal sector for textile waste management? We are designing a system for planned textile waste management to reduce any further wastage. I think, as I said, that circular products is a collaborative effort, and everybody has a role to play. And informal sector in India is very, very big, almost like as big as the organized sector. So, and mostly the waste part is handled by the unorganized sector. Only I think we need to take care that we follow the proper labor practices, no use of child labor, and if these things are taken care of, I think there is going to be large demand from all the consumers for such services. So I think there's a lot of collaboration required in informal sector also, and we are already collaborating with some of the informal sector where we have developed our relationship and trust, and then we're trying to develop this, and we are happy to collaborate on that also. Mr. Rajesh's question, do you suggest if you want me to be in touch with you with your product development team? I'm in touch with your triple team. Definitely, it will be good to collaborate, because again, it's a very collaborative effort. It requires product development, it requires collaboration at sourcing level, separation level, segregation level. So a lot of no one company can do this circular economy. Circular economy is that every player in the value chain has to cooperate and collaborate. So we welcome any type of collaboration at any stage, and we'll be happy to collaborate with you. Mr. Chaudhary, do you have any collaboration in Hyderabad and Andhra? So, Mr. Chaudhary, if you let us know your product, and definitely we can work with you, because right now we are sourcing not only from India but Bangladesh, Sri Lanka also. So it's like the quantity of waste that is required is massive, and we are happy to work with any company either in India or in Southeast Asia. Question from Harshita: what kind of fabric is the company dealing currently, and as if only cottons or any other also? So right now we are looking at pre-consumer cotton waste and post-consumer cotton waste. So this is our focus area, and as I said that we are also developing technologies for separation of polymers. So that project is still, we are piloting with some of the innovators and brands, like I mentioned, Kering and Tommy Hilfiger. So once we launch commercially, then definitely we'll be needing that also. How can we train?
Sir, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are running out of time. I request everyone to put your questions in the question section. So Mr. Mukul Agarwal can just answer you there after the session ends.
Sure. Thanks for a very interactive session, and I look forward for working with you all. Thank you so much. And thank you, Chelsea and Recommerce teams, for organizing the call. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye, sir.